access the audio. All right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Okiki Omikunle. I am a I am currently working as a pricing analyst, but I started um I started as a data analyst. That was my journey basically. I currently work as a pricing analyst, and I started my journey as a data analyst. So today, so also apologies for not being available. I am only available on weekends. So those classes we have on. Can we all hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those Mondays and Thursday classes, even the Friday classes, I was part of the class, but if you have any question, just drop it in the chat. I'll see it. Just Carlo, you raised your hand. So if you have any question, just drop it. I would please hope we would have the materials. Yes, I would share the materials after the class. So, but I was part of those classes. So and I see that we've been, catching up all along. Also, I wanted to point out that you don't just learn. You have to. It is very important to put whatever you are learning into practice. So if we have any assignments, if even after the class you should go over the videos, make sure you are, because the truth is you would always have questions. Even I, in my role, I still have a lot of questions that I ask. There is still a lot of Excel functions and formulas that I still have to ask my boss, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? So you constantly have to ask questions. You don't know it. That's the truth. Don't say you know it. You don't know it. I'm putting it to you that you don't know it. So you constantly have to ask questions. That is the best way that you would learn. So uh, forgive my ranting, but today we'll be going into Excel functions and formulas. So Excel functions and formulas. So as you can see on the screen, we have just as I've pointed out this these slides. Let me hide this. I don't want to take this today. And this. Alright. So as you can see, we have average, min, max, if statement, VLOOKUP. Okay, XLOOKUP is supposed to be part of this. Conditional functions, function wizard, and formula errors. I think we talked about conditional formatting in one of the classes. I'm not sure. So today we'll be starting, with the basics. What are doing the most basic things in Excel, doing your addition, your subtraction, that is what this first slide is speaking to. And as you can see, the slide, you know, gives vivid explanation to the things that we need to look out for. But we'll get there. So let's just start with the basics. So the basics, doing maths with Excel. Because when I look at it, the only thing we do, or the major thing, 90% of the time or 95% of the time is numbers in Excel. There's really nothing else I can think of that is aside numbers that we do in Excel. So doing maths with Excel, you can add, subtract, multiply. Okay, Andrew, to improve student participation. Okay, all right, that is noted. It will take us time now. I would have said, let me just email this to everybody. But before we collect the email and everything, or I can just drop this on the Slack channel. Let me see if I can do that. Just give me 1 minute. Let me let me see if I can drop this on the Slack channel. Oh, let me drop this on the Slack channel. Where is the Slack channel? Hmm, okay, I need to remove it. Hmm, sorry, just give me 1 minute. I need to sort this out quickly. So, who is this? Okay, all right. So I'll just send this right now. Okay. Yes, yes, that's where it should be dropped. To be dropped on the data analysis channel. Please, after this class, I expect a lot of questions. If there are no questions, that is where we would have a lot of issues. So I would expect a lot of questions, after this class. So I'm sending it now. It's uploading, so it should drop anytime now. I want to say share, yeah, send. Okay, so you should get it now. So I'm going to pin this also. Okay, it has been dropped. Oh, I have. Please, how will you concentrate on what this photo is? Oh, I already, I already dropped it. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on with the class. Oh, I forgot to take out the first page. That has my face in it. Anyways, so as we can see in this document or what I'm currently sharing with us, so it says that to add in Excel, you select the cell you want to, then you type equals to. So the most important thing in Excel, once you want to use any formula or functions, the first thing, the base level thing, you need your equals to sign. If you do not input an equal to sign, nothing is going to be actioned. So for example, let's say I type in C3 plus C4, nothing is happening. It's just there, blank. But if I go back and add equals to, though this is going to give us 0. So this C3 is not referencing anything. So we're adding nothing and nothing, which gives us 0. But The most important thing, like I said, you use your equals to sign. And if you can see, when I put my equals to sign and I begin to type, let's say I begin to type any of the functions we have. Let's say I type sum, I get a list of suggestions that starts with, or that has the word sum in it. So that is how you know you're on the right track. So going back to what our document is telling us, so to add, so let's say you have, this is just an example. So uh, select cell F3. So we have cell F3 here. This is F3 addition. Addition is telling us C3 plus C4, and you press enter, and our answer gives us this. Then another way, or additionally, for you to know what is the functions or what is the formula behind a data is to click on wherever you find your answer and to look at the formula bar. This is the formula bar. I want to believe we've looked at the basic um, we've looked at the layouts of Excel so that we are not lost. I want to believe we've done that. Yeah, I want to believe we've done that. So this is the formula bar in Excel where you can see, okay, what and what you've been typing. So as you can see, this answer over here is speaking from D3 plus D4, and we know that this is column D, and this is row 3, and this is row 4. Another way, alternatively, for us to know is to click on the cell and look at close to our formula bar, which is the name box, and we'll see D3 over here. Those are the basics. I don't need to go over that, but just letting us know. So our answer here gives us D3 plus D4, which is 1 plus 2, which is 3. And our subtraction, D3 minus D4, which gives us, minus 1. Multiplication as well, D3 times D4 gives us 1 times 2 gives us 2. And division, D3 slash D4, and raised to power, D3 raised to power 1. That is 1 raised to power 2 gives us 1. And additionally, in this document, we have ints or extra credits. We can raise a value to a power by using the carats. That is the raised to power symbol. Then we enter it, and that is it. This is also a shortcut. I would send us a PDF file where we can get access to Excel shortcuts. That is, quick keys we can press that would quickly do eliminate 2 or 3 steps from our Excel workings. So more about functions and formulas. Excel is made up of individual cells that are grouped into rows and columns. Rows are numbered and columns are lettered, as we all know. I believe that. There are over 1 million rows. So what this means is that if you work in an organization that you are getting your data is exceeding 1 million rows, that means your company is growing. You guys need to grow. You've grown beyond Excel. That is when you now start looking at relational database system for your data. You would migrate away from Excel, but Excel can take over 1 million rows of data and 16,000 columns. Formulas can contain cell references, range of cell references, operators, and constants. The following are all examples of formula: equals to A1 plus B1, equals to 10 times 20, equals to sum A1 range A10. So you notice that in our third example, we use the sum function. A function is a pre-built command that takes a value of values, calculate them in a certain way, and return a result. For instance, the sum function takes the cell reference or ranges you specify and totals them. In this example, it takes the cell A1 through A10. That is why we said A1, I can't remember what this is called now, but A1 range A10. So meaning anything between A1 and A10, it will sum it up for us. Excel asks over 400 functions. Now, these 400 functions, I can categorically tell you that you can't know more than 20. Yes, you can't know more than 20. For example, now in my organization, these functions we use about 15, or at least those are the ones that I've seen on a day-to-day basis, about 15 functions. And the most we use is VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. Then we use a lot of sum ifs and min max. So those are like, so you don't need to know everything. The most important thing is to know how you would apply your functions or your formulas. That is the most important. That is, if you are going to take anything away from this, it is to understand the basic. Yes, Deborah, you have a question, you can drop it in the chat. Please drop it in the chat if you have a question. So the most important thing is to know how formulas work. And like I said, the first thing we need to know is to know that with the equals to sign, that is how you start. Once you put the equals to sign, it notifies Excel that okay, you want to impute a formula. Then you go ahead with any formula you have in mind. So formulas with functions start with an equal sign. That is what I just said. Then the function name followed with its arguments. The values a function used to calculate wrapped in parentheses. So parentheses are brackets. You confirm a formula by pressing enter. Once you do that, the formula will calculate and the results will be displayed in the cell. I feel like this document has enough explanation for us. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at the equals to sign, our cell reference, which is A1, then our operator plus sign, then what we are adding it to, B1. Then also our 10 is a constant. If you are in this instance, 10 is a constant, meaning we are not changing this. For example, this A1, let me just type something here. Let's say I have 50 here and I have 70 here. And okay, let me increase this. I don't have a mouse here. Okay, so I have 50 and 70 there. So let's say I had this up, and that is D18 plus D18. Now, as you can also see, Excel is also so smart that it's referencing it for us with colors. So we can know that this D18 is, oh, it is this 50 over here, and E18 is this 70 that we have over here. When I press enter, I get to 120. So what this constant means is that, in our formula, I selected D18, meaning I can go ahead and change this 50 to any number. I can decide to change it to 40, and our 120 over here will change. If I press enter, our 120 has changed to 110, meaning these references can change at any time, but our constant doesn't change. If I type out equals to 40 plus 70, it will not change. There is no way I can change this except if I go into the formula itself to change our values. Please, you can't see my screen. Can we also see my screen? Or it's just
Yes, I can see you.
Yes,
You can
sir.
see your
It's
screen.
visible. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Maybe you have to, maybe you can leave and rejoin or check your network. Yes, thank you. So, I hope you understand what I'm saying. So, these are constants, meaning they are not referenced or they are not encased. Okay, meaning they are not encased in any cell. We would only have to add code them, meaning we have to go and manually change them in our formula bar. That is the only way we can solve that. So good to know note over a constant are values that you enter into cells or formulas. While 10 times 20 might calculate the same as constant aren't a good practice. Why? Because you can't easily see the constant without selecting the cell and looking for it. That can make it hard to change later. It's much easier to put your constant in cells where they can be easily adjusted and referenced in your formula. For example, select the yellow cell with 12 below. You would see we use the sum function with the range of cell. We didn't type in 4 or 8 directly into the formula. Exactly what I just explained now. So when we click on 12, you can see that we have some K41, K42. And if I double click on this 12, we can see that it is showing us that, okay, K41 is this 4 and K42 is this 8 over here, giving us our 12. So the next thing is we have this sum function here over here, and we have a range of cell, and we also have, so we have two arguments in this um in this function. Ah, I need data. I mean, when I say data, I need the data to work with. Let me see if I can quickly bring one in so I can be showing us examples as we go on that are not in this that are not included in this document. Let me just quickly look for one. I think I have one in this place. Let me check here. Okay, let me just bring this in. Let me bring this into our basic file. Let me just chop it here. I need somewhere that is clean. All right. Okay. Yeah. So let me just explain what this means. So for example, we have sum of cell A1 to A10, and we also have sum of C1 to C10. Meaning we want to sum what is in A10, but we don't want to sum them separately. We want to sum them, together. We don't want to do one sum here, then another sum there. They will now sum the two of them together. No, we want to sum, both together. So let me just come over here and say equals to sum, then your tab. Let's say I select project 1 to 3, for example. Let me select project 1 to 3, close parentheses, comma. Then I select, so training costs. This time I don't want to select from project 1 to 3. I want to select from project 3 to 5. I click down. Okay, sorry. Why did I come on? Those graphics? Yes. So, yes. Now, if I press enter, it will give me a total of the addition of this and the addition of this. Uh, what's that? The addition of this and the addition of this. So, this is the total of this. Now, if I click on this cell, I double click on it, it will reference it for me that, okay, this is where I am summing this thing from, so that you will not forget when you come back later and say, oh, where did I do this from? You can easily see it. And also a quick trick, you can drag this. You can drag, let's say I don't want to sum projects 1 to 3 anymore. I want to sum same as project 3 and to project 5. I can just come here. Now you can see that when I over on this, it changes. Can we all see that? Please confirm you can see that. Yes. So when
Yes, sir.
okay, when I click on this, from it changes the cursor to a different type of arrow. So when you see that, you can click on it, then move your mouse. So it will move it down for you, and we get a different number in this instance. So that is just your basic um, how to use your functions and formulas. Any question? Is a constant also an absolute? I don't understand that, Glory. Is a constant also an absolute? Okay, okay. Yeah, you mean the constant? Yeah. Mm, no, I wouldn't say that it's absolute. It's absolute because you can still go and add code this. When I mean add code, meaning you can still come into the formula bar and change this manually. I can change this to 90. If that's what you mean, what if you want to sum project 1 and 2 and then project 4 and 5? Okay, project 1 and 2 and project 4 and 5. Okay, like this. Let me let me do this. Um, so that would be like this. For now, like this. For now, like this. For now, like this. For now, lastly, like this. Yes. So summation. Let's confirm this is correct. Let's confirm. So let me add this. Let me do this. So let me try this down. So sorry, some this. You can see we got the same thing. We got the same thing, but this took us a longer route. You see, I had to like do this and do this, but this is just in one. This is just in one formula or in one function. So, do we have any more questions? Do you have any more questions? Do you have any more questions? Um, I need to be seeing my questions here. So I need to close this. Please, can I redo it again? All right, let me go right again. Um, okay, do you mean the first one or the second one? Do you mean the first one or the second one? Let me just redo it again. So I went with my equals to sign, then my sum. So, oh, okay. I can see the issue here. You guys can't see my drop down. You can't see the drop down that I can see. You can't see the drop down I can see. I think it's not for some reason I can't share that. I don't know. So let me take a screenshot. I can't take a screenshot of this. I can't take a screenshot. Excel can stress you. Okay, I can't take a screenshot of it. I would have shown you guys. But in your Excel, oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you very much, Beatrice. Yeah, so in your Excel, yeah. So, okay, so let me redo this. So I want to sum project 1 and project 2 and then project 4 and project 5. Okay, I think I understand the question better now. So project 1 and project 2, if I do this. So this is project 1 and project 2, comma, project 4 and project 5, enter. So we got 55,000. Let me format these things. I want to format it. I don't like the way they are looking. Let me give them comma and remove the yes, and remove the okay, I remove the decimal points. Yes. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. So we have 55,000. Did you get it now, Davis? Is it Davis? Yes, Davis. You get it. Just give me a thumbs up if you get it. All right. Okay. Gifts. All right. Okay. Thank you. So yeah. So please go over these documents. Try out every simple example that was stated in this, and please, if you have any question, if you drop it on the channel, if you didn't get an answer, you can please enter my DM. Anytime I'm available, I would definitely answer you. So if you have any question, you can come to me on Slack if you drop it on the, but please drop it on the Slack channel first so that if I see it there, I can answer it so that everyone can learn before coming into my DM. And before you ask any question, please make sure you've done enough research. It's only when you do not, the research is not researching again. It is turning your eye. That is the only time you should please come to me. Thank you very much. Yes. Because so introduction. So those all we were doing was just basic. So this is the proper introduction that explains, further what we already discussed. I already talked about all this, but this also gives us, let me just come to formula here. So this is just explaining the AutoSum function that we have. So the AutoSum function also have some baby functions under it. So we have the sum function itself, then we have average, then we have count numbers, then we have the max, and we have mean. And also, if I click on more functions, I don't like the fact that this thing is not showing drop downs, but no problem. Okay, so yeah, so this is all the functions we have. This is our function library, as you can see. We have financial functions. Please, I've never used this before. So that is why I'm telling you that I am very sure you will not use up to 20. Ah, Jesus, you people can't see this. But anyways, I'm trying this. I'm here and I'm dropping down, but you guys can't see. I clicked on this now. It's not showing, but it's showing here. Uh, but please play around with all this and play around with all this and just try your hands around it. When you come across, so for me, for example, what I do when I come across a function that I I really do not understand, um I've stopped sharing. I know I want to share my Chrome tab so I can, let me share the entire screen. Yes, I'll share the entire screen. Yeah, share the entire screen. It should be sharing now. I'm gonna share. Okay, it's sharing now. Okay, yes. So for example, let's say I see so yes, let me give a perfect example now. So there's this function called sum ifs. And I remember when I joined my organization and I didn't, to be honest, I didn't know how to use sum if. I will not lie. I've been using a lot of functions and formulas, but some ifs has just never been in the list of things I would use. So when I came across it, I was very, very confused. Like, hey, what is going on? What is this? And the first thing I did was to Google search this. And this is the place I went to. I came over to the Microsoft support, which has, I feel like this is the best explanation you need for when you come across a formula or a function that you do not understand. Now, this part, this table you see here, this table you see here, this table, this is what you need to look out for. This is what gives you, you know, a basic understanding of what you. I'm even going too far, but I'm using Solve as an example, to when you come across a function or a formula that you do not understand, just bring it to Google and search and come to Microsoft support. I feel like they have the best explanation to these things, and you would see the best, and you will also get best practices on how to use these functions. Microsoft is also the owner of Excel, so they are the best person to tell you this is how you should use whatever tool they give to you. So if you guys understand what I'm driving at. So back to my screen. Where is it? Um, I'm saying entire screen now, but this one just keep acting anyhow. I have to take this here. Nope, stop. I'll stop and share. Sorry, this thing is trying to stress me, but I'll not allow it. All right, so I'm sharing again. All right, so back to the introduction to functions. Yeah, so as I said, once you are confused, Google is your best bet. Or these days, as where the world is going to ChatGPT, use ChatGPT to get clarity. I also use that a lot to understand what is happening, with my data. So introduction to function. Functions give you the ability to do a variety of things like perform mathematical operation, look up values, or even calculate date and time. Let's try if you do it, blah blah blah. Yeah. Under the amount column for fruits, that's in cell D7. So this is cell D7. Cell D7, we have 140, and we can see that it summed up from cell D3 to D6, which is this. So it summed up the amount of what are the amounts, what did this person, how much did they buy all the fruits they have in their basket? And we can see that it sums up to 170. Um, and I think it's also telling us to sum, or we should do something. I know that is the next thing, because yeah. So let's say we want to sum this also, just like I showed us previously. You use your sum function and you just drag down, or you type as you may want to, and we have this as 140 equals to. Then it also tells us, so we basically do the same thing over and over again, or we use the AutoSum function like it is telling us to do. So if I click on, you can see that in this instance, it automatically eliminates those multiple steps we had to take. It's eliminated those steps for us. So we don't need to Be manually selecting the range of cells that we need. Sorry, 1 minute. I need to get water. Um, I don't talk too much. So when I speak a lot like this, my mouth gets dry. I'm not sure you guys need that information, but yeah. So we can see that the AutoSum functions automatically or intelligently identifies which range of cells we want to sum together. So we don't need to be, all we just need to do is press enter. That is all we need to do. Same goes for the other AutoSum. That is why it is called auto. It is automatic. It will automatically pick whatever we are looking for. So if I come to this count function, this count cell as well, and I come to our AutoSum also, and I pick on count numbers, it will automatically pick what I want, and all I have to do is just press enter, and it counts that okay, the number of cells that we have, or the number of entries we have is just 5. Let's try another one. Let me just come to also some. Let's see what we have here. Max. So it's picking the nearest number, but that is not what you want. That is why you also have to double check on whatever you are doing so that you are getting the right data. Don't want to be feeding the computer wrong information. So that is max. No, let me just put this under here. Let me just, yeah. Hmm. So let's try something else. Let's try max, or let's try average. So when I click on average, it automatically you know shows us that, and we press enter, and we can see that the average of this is 52. So average is addition of all these numbers, together divided by the number of occurrence of those numbers. So we add all this number, then divided by 5, which is the number of total occurrence that the total occurrence now. So it's divided by the number of times that we have those values. I don't know how to say that in English. So moving on, yes. So like I was saying, intelligence is built into Excel. So that is what gives it, those drop down that I say we've not been seeing. That is what gives us, those drop down that tells us, okay, maybe this is what you want to do next. Oh, is this what you want to do next? Oh, okay, this is what you want to do next. So that is intelligence, which is built into Excel. So we can thank the team like at Microsoft for that, for making life easier for us. So the rest of this is super explanatory, but I'll still go through it, for the case of just going through it, so I can know that okay, yes, we went through this. So if you go to the Emmanuel, you have a question. Please mute. Thank you. Yes. So more about function. Go to the formula tab and browse through the function library where functions are listed by category. That is, these are this financial, logical, text, date and time, lookup and reference, mathematics and trigonometry, then more functions that they cannot categorize. etc. Insert function will let you search for functions by name and launch a function with that can help you build your formula. Then when you start typing a formula name, after you press equals to Excel will launch IntelliSense, which will list all the functions starting with the methods you type, just like I've explained before. So if you type sum, it will bring out all the list of functions that have sum in them. If you type sum, what is it called now? Average, it will bring out all the functions that have average in their name and so on. Now look at the anatomy of a few functions. The sum function is structured like this. This is the name of the function. The first argument is almost always required, yes. Additional arguments are separated by comma. So in any function that you see, additional functions, they are separated by what? They are separated by commas. Let me see if I can find one here. I don't want to look for a complicated one. So I'll look for. Don't worry, we'll get to that point. Don't let me complicate it for us. So if the sum function could talk, it will tell you that okay, return the sum of all the values in cell B8 to B41 and all of column H. I hope you can. This is the reason why I love this document is that it's I don't have to talk too much, even though I've been talking too much. You know, I don't have to talk too much, even though I've been talking too much. It helps me to tell you what is the next thing or what to clarify things. So that when I'm not there, when you are going through this document, you should be telling me in my voice. So you should be reading this in my voice. So it should be ringing in your head. If the sum function could talk, it will tell you that return all the sum of all the values in cell D38 to D41. Let's say D38. Let's look for it. This D38 to D41. But in this document, we do not have anything there. So where is he getting it from? I think something is wrong. I will need to edit this thing. I don't have column H. Where's column H? Okay. This is not correct. Anyways, please let's ignore that part. But don't ignore this part. Don't ignore this thing here. This is how you should read your functions. This is another way for it to be easier for you. So before you even go on and type your functions, you should know what and what you want to achieve. I feel like that is the first most crucial thing for us to do. Once you know this is what I want to achieve, oh, this is what I want to achieve, oh, then you can now say, okay, this is the kind of function I will need to know. So because I said we would only use 20 functions, doesn't mean we should limit ourselves to 20 functions. We need to expand your scope of functions you can use so that when you are faced with a problem in Excel, you can easily tackle it. You can easily, pinpoint, okay, this is what I can use in this instance. So return all the values in this cell and all of this in this cell. So now let's try one that doesn't require any arguments. And I said I don't want to try date today. And this simply brought dates to this place. Eh? Anyways, so what this function does basically for us is that it just tells us the present date that we are in. So today is the 9th of February 2025. So anywhere in your Excel, if you go and say today, what is today, and you press today and you return it, you press enter. It will show you today's date. So we can see that today is 9th of February 2025. If I close this, if I close this Excel file, I save it, and I come back tomorrow and I open this file and I come here, you will find out that I will meet the dates updated. It will have been updated to the present date that I opened this document. So this 9 would have, let's say I open it tomorrow, this 9 will have changed to 10th of February. So the date, this is also a date function that it is very important. It will automatically update when Excel recalculates or when you open Excel on a different day. There is also more. No, I'm not going to tell us that. I want us to go and research it. There's also, you can also look at a present, what is the present time that we worked on this document. You can type a function for that to get the present date, the present time, the minute, and the second in Excel. So that's your little just go and find that out. Duplicate this. Okay, do we need to check this out? Let me see. Okay, we've talked about some. Okay, look at this now. This is interesting. I think this is what we're trying to, it was trying to explain to us here, but it's just that the range it was telling us is different, was different. So what this formula is telling us is that, okay, so I want you to sum D45 to D48. This is D45 to D48. These cars, trucks, bikes, skates, 20, 10, 10, 40. I want you to sum them. Then at the end, I'm adding 100. I'm adding 100 to it. Yes, Excel. I'm adding 100 to it. What are you going to do about that? Giving us 180. Because originally, this only sums up to 80. This only sums up to 80. So I'm giving it additional value, 100. Add 100 to it for me. So we can also refer to this 100 as a constant. This is also a constant, like we talked about here. Like we talked about over here. Where is it taken? Yes. This 100 over here is also a constant, meaning it doesn't change. That is what it's going to be. All the values here. If I change this one to 60 now, it will change our data. It will change our new total. We change it to a different value. But 100 is there. Like today, okay, I wanted to say something else. 100 is just there, constant. It's not going anywhere. So, do we have any questions so far? Do you have any questions? Please let me know. This class, we are not rushing it. We are not rushing. We are taking it so that everyone understands, which also eliminates, even though I want us to have questions. I'm trying to take our time so that we fully absorb and we take it in. And I'm not even, this class, we are supposed to be over, we are just 81, I be 83. We are supposed to be over 100. This is not nice. This is, Abi, yes, now I'm still 83, yes. I'm supposed to be over 100. I don't understand. I wish please, no. Anyways, if there are no questions, that means I can move on. I can move on to the next topic we are going to look at. It seems like all of us here, we know this thing, so which makes it easy for me. It makes it easy for the tutors. You don't have to stress too much. Thank you, guys.
Very good
Please
teacher.
don't unmute. Oh. Can you give an example of how? Thank you. Can you give an example on how to use the sum? Where's the person again? That's disappeared. Let me go on the person. Okay. Can you give an example on how to use the summing function? I think I have it. I think we have it here. Yes, so don't worry. We have plenty ifs for you. Plenty summing example. Hey, what's wrong with my document? Yes. There's a lot of summing examples, so don't worry. Wait, I'm supposed to have more than something is wrong. What's going on? There's yes. As you can see, there's plenty summits for you to take home. Don't worry, you you digest enough summits. Even you will be, how do I put it? Hmm, if you are not careful, can you stretch more in the absolute context? Okay, okay, let me use an example. Okay, what example can I use? Hold on, I'm trying to think now. I'm trying to think. Can you stretch more on the absolute context? Okay. hmm, okay. So in Excel, there's something we call absolute and relative. Yes, absolute and relative. Now, if you are very familiar in mathematics, you are very familiar. There's something we call constant. Constant are things that doesn't change. For example, I don't know if you are constant are values that they don't change. The way they are is how they will be. There's nothing you will do, they will not change. That is what I don't think it should be absolute, but it's just constant. I mean, I think what this person was referring to, this what the question Glory asked at 7:44 p.m. is is not absolute, but absolute in Excel is supposed to be when you lock in a cell, when you lock in a value, that okay, oh, the way you are like this, don't change. You are not going to change. You are not going to go anywhere. I am locking you down. Let me give us an example. So let's say I have a range of data. Let's say I have 90 here, I have 60 here, I have 60 here, I have 50 here. And I want to sum. Hmm, wait, I'm trying to find a perfect example that I can use. Let me come to this VLOOKUP. I know I'll find a good example here. Okay, okay, I know what to do already. I know what to do already. Okay, okay. So let's say these are these are data, and I want to, for example, I want to multiply this. I want to multiply this this these numbers here. I want to multiply them by what's it called? I want to multiply them by 100. Yes. For example, I want to multiply them by 100. So let's say I have 100 here. Let me keep 100 here. Let me keep 100 here just by the side. Let me keep 100 here. Let me color the 100 so that it will be different from the rest. Let me color it with this color. Which color should I color it with? Let me color it with this. I'll change it to white. And I'll change the text to white so it will be visible for us to see. Let me make it bold. So, so we have this 100 here and we have this number there. We now want to multiply by 100. And we don't want to stress ourselves. Do you get? We don't want to be stressing and be pressing 100, 100, 100 every time that we multiply. So let me say this multiply by this cell and I press enter, giving me 9,000. I have 9,000. And I want to do this for the rest. I want to do this for this too. If I drag down, I'm getting zero. Why am I getting zero? That's the question. Why am I getting zero? What is the issue? You can see that, yes, Glory. Your question wanted to scatter what I was saying. Thank you for the clarification. So, why am I getting zero? But I have 100 that I am referencing already. I got 9,000. So, why is it that the rest, they are not giving me what I want? Yes, I didn't lock it with the dollar sign. Now, locking it with the dollar sign is what we call absolute reference. If you guys understand, we don't have that in this slides. So locking this 100 with a dollar sign is what we call, is what we call what? Absolute reference. Meaning we want this to be absolute. We want it, I don't know why they name it absolute, but I shall know it is absolute reference. So please don't ask me why did they name it absolute. You can go and Google it. But it is called absolute reference. Now, a way for us to do that is a shortcut. Let me just give us a shortcut. Is you press your what was that button you press again? Yes. You press your on your keyboard, you press FN and F4. There's something called FN if you use a Windows laptop. But if you use a MacBook also has FN. So because there's an FN on my keyboard here. So FN and F4 would automatically help you lock. It will lock this thing down. Before I lock it down, let me escape. Can we all see what is happening here? You can see that it picked J12, which is our 60, but it now picked I16, which is below the 100 that we want. Same thing for this too. It picked I17. Same thing for this as well. Same thing for this as well. It picked I18. And we don't have anything in these cells. I18 doesn't have anything. This is a picture. So don't think there's anything there. There's nothing here. This is a picture. This extra credit is a picture. So it is not on any cell. It is just over the cell. It is not on any cell. So there's nothing here. I can type something here now. I can type something in this I18. Oh, let me go and type something there. 90. I can type something in I18. You can see it's under the picture, so there's nothing there. So for us not to fall into this error, because it is very, very important. It's and what I'm saying, it is very important that we lock ourselves, because if we do not lock, yes, absolute reference makes a figure fix. Yes. Is it okay to say so? Yes. It makes it no, it doesn't make the figure fit. It makes the cell we reference. It makes it fix. It is the cell you reference. It is not the figure. It is the cell that you are referencing. If I come back and change this figure, it will obviously change our data over. It will change this to if I change this 100 to a 1,000, it will change our data over here. So it doesn't make the figure fix. It only makes the cell that we are referencing. It is the cell that is making fix. So if I click on this I15 now is where our 100 is. I15 is where our 100 is. So if I do my absolute reference again. So what I am telling Excel to do is that you can now there are different ways. I can decide to put the dollar sign in front of the 15 alone, or I can decide to put it in front of the I alone. But best practice is that you put it in front of both. In front of both your I meaning your column, and your 15 meaning your row. Row 15 is where our data is under column I. Please don't forget. Row 15, column I. So I have told Excel that, okay, lock this cell down for me. Don't let it go anywhere. If I press enter now and I come back here and I double click on this and I click on it to check, you can see that everything maintains like we have asked it to. We are now getting our data. We are no longer getting 0. So we deviated a little bit from what is in our slide, but please, I hope you all understand what I just explained. Please, if you still have, please, what did you use to get the symbol? So on my keyboard, I pressed and FN and F4. FN, F4. On your keyboard, FN is, if you are using a Windows laptop, FN is beside the Windows logo. The Windows logo just under your keyboard, just at the base of your keyboard. Then F4 is just on top, is on the first row on your keyboard. Then if you are using a MacBook, there's also FN on your keyboard. You find FN. FN is the first key on your last row on the keyboard. Then F4 also is on the top row of your keyboard. I don't know if it works on Mac. Maybe I'll try that. But I know it works on Windows. So I think I've answered that. So we can go back to what we were talking about. Let me play this. All right. So average function. This is just one of the functions that we have in Excel. So average just tells us, okay, what is the average? The total number divided by the number of occurrence. That is average. Now let's try it. Equals to average, then select or enter. 42.5. That is the average. Let's try this. But this time we'll use our AutoSum function. We use our AutoSum function to do this. So I go to formulas, AutoSum, average, enter. 35. 35 is our average. Then this time I want to type it. Let me type it. I don't want to exert it for me. Average, open brackets, what's 10 on that? 50 is E10, 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 E10 to E14, enter. Our average is 52. Then the last one. So it's telling us we should try median and mode. We should try it here. So just the way we did, we do have median and mode in AutoSum. So, but we'll type that out. Equals to median, then select down, equals to 50. Median, what's median again, sef? Okay, median gives you the value in the middle of the data set. Okay, while mode gives you the one that occurs the most frequently. Yes. So 50 is the data in the middle of our is the data in the middle of our data set. Now you should understand that this median, because I remember when we were in secondary school then, we used to have two different type of median. Is it what do they call it? Arrange and unarranged. I don't know if that's the name we call it then. Where you first of all rearrange the data accordingly, I think serially as they appear. So for example, we rearrange the data. Let's say we have 1 to 10 scattered on a straight line. We rearrange it from 1 all the way to 10. Yes, ascending order. But in this instance, in Excel instance, it will rearrange this data from lowest to highest and pick the one in the middle. Then if there is no middle point, it will add the two, arrange it down. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you guys, thank you guys. So if we don't have a middle point, it will pick the two data in the middle, add the two of them together, then give us, I think to add it together and multiply by 2 and divide it by 2. See, my maths is rusty. So, okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, so moving on. I will leave us to check mode out. So please, everything I've mentioned that we should try, make sure we try it. I can't remember. I mentioned something that we should try here. Please try it. Yes, I said we should try date. We should try date. Yes. So please try it and let me know. Tell us on the Slack channel what you discovered. Thank you. Okay. Do you have any question in average? Do you have any question here? Do we have any question? Please, people that were not in class today, tell them that if I catch them, I have noted everybody's name here. Oh. So if anybody should come to me and say, "Oh, I don't understand," okay. Oh. So if you have any friends, and I hope you guys have been making friends, and I hope you guys have been making friends and sharing notes, sharing resources, ask questions from each other. Oh, I noticed that I've been getting messages. My office, my office work tool is open. I beg. This is no work hours. Let me close this thing. Then I resume tomorrow. We continue. Yes. So I hope you guys have been, communicating with each other as a data analyst. No statistics. Do necessary need to arrange data for the media section? No, you do not need to arrange. Excel will do that for you. Excel is how do I put it now? Excel is like your big daddy that will do all the hard work for you. Just all you just have to do is just tell it, okay, Excel, do this for me, and Excel will just all right, I got you. All you just have to do is like give Excel the right things, and it won't stress you. You won't need to rearrange anything. It will arrange it for you. Yes. So mean and max. These are very simple things. Oh. Like these things they are bread and butter. Min and max, just like the name signify, it will pick out the minimum. I wanted to ask that person if you would have a meet with yourself and work on what you have learned so far. I feel like what we can do is questions. It's questions. Ask your questions, and I'm sure people would come out. People would come out if they have answers to your question, and it can start from there. We there is no plan for a physical meet as at now, So Slack is still our meeting point at this stage. So ask questions, form relationship, and yes, please. So please let's restrict our communication to Slack as of now. Thank you very much. So min and max, just like the name implies, minimum, maximum. You have a large data set. And your boss has told you that let me find somebody's name. Who is the last person that spoke? Fumilayo, yes. Fumilayo, can you quickly get us the lowest number in this range of cell? Fumilayo, be like, oh Jesus, what should I do? Blah blah blah. One option that Fumilayo can do is she can decide to go and to give her data. What is it called now? To give her data drop down. Okay, drop down. I will sort. I'll sort from largest to lowest. What if my boss doesn't want it like that? You can just come and use minimum. The minimum of this range. Please quickly get me Big Daddy Excel. Quickly get me the minimum of this range and you get 20. Definitely simple as AB. Oh, your boss comes again. Oh, get me the maximum. Oh, let me quickly use sort function. Let me quickly use sort function. I give you the drop down. Largest to smallest. 50 comes up. Oh, you know that's 50, but you cross check. You check again. Max. What is the max in these numbers? Select your range. Enter. 50 is your maximum. And you are as good as rain. So yes, I believe this. I don't want to spend much time on this minimum, and it's such a simple thing that I believe everyone here should really understand. But if you do not understand, please ask on the Slack channel. I want to be seeing questions on that Slack channel every single time. I want to be seeing questions because I will open Slack channel and I will not see anything. It doesn't feel like you are learning. So please ask questions on the Slack channel. Ask. Okay, I'm saying my own now. It's not like when we give assessments now. That time I will not say me, I will not answer you. I notice we don't really need to close bracket before we press enter for this. That is because Excel Excel is very kind. Honestly, Excel is a very kind tool. You can't do all these things with Python SQL that you will not put close parentheses. It will not answer you. It will tell you to go back to where you are coming from and complete your task. But Excel would automatically help us to close the parentheses. So for example now, if I come back to our max here, max and I select down, you can see I have not added the close parenthesis and I press enter. If I come back and I check our formula, you can see the parenthesis closing is already there. So Excel is very, how do I put it? It's very lenient when it comes to things like that. It will allow you have your way, but you can't try this with um with other tools, yes, for analysis. Let's say if you are into Python, you write Python, you would know you can't do this. If you are writing SQL queries as well, you have to, if you do not put your comma, it will tell you please go back and put your comma. You can even be having a headache on it for like 2 days. You will not know what the issue is. You just see that the thing is not working, but it's just one comma somewhere. So because I didn't add closing prices, please make it best practice to to add closing a job. Thank you. So moving on. We don't have time anymore. No, we still have plenty time next week. But if statements, let me see if I can let me hide all those all those ones that I don't want to add in if statements. So if statements, just like the name says, if oh no, I wanted to say probability. It makes you it allows you to make logical comparisons between conditions. So I don't know if you are familiar with Boolean. Boolean. Is this correct? Yes, Boolean. So Boolean is basically true or false. True or false. So the if function is basically this. If A is A, true. If A is not A, false. That is basically what it is. So it's telling us that, let me look if I can find an explanation here. Oh, we don't have an explanation here. I think it should be a way we can check it. Well, ah, okay. So if statement allows you to make logical comparison between conditions, and if statement generally says that if one condition is true to do something, otherwise do something else. If one condition is true, do this. Otherwise, do something else. For example, let's say your mommy calls you. Who is the last person? I've used from Lion. Let me use the last person before from Lion. That's Aishat. Let's say your mommy Aishat's mommy calls her and say, "Oh, I hope Aisha is a female." Let's say Aisha. Um, yeah, I think this person is female. Yeah, Damira. Parents calls and say, "Oh, Aisha, please do this." But let's say what Aisha needs to do is dependent on another variable being available. Let's say she says, Aisha, okay, please, can you please blend the pepper? And Aisha needs to blend the pepper with, the blender, the electric blender that they have at home. Meaning there has to be power. Oh, but if there is no power, Aisha, you can turn on the generator. So the first condition is that Aisha should blend the pepper using PHCN or NEPA as the case may be. But if there is no NEPA, Aisha has to turn on the gen. That is if statement for you. So it's saying that in cell D9, this is cell D9. Yes. So this is the formula we are going to write. So just for you to know. So it's saying if you can see that we have equal sign that starts with, and we have the if. So you say if C9 equals to apple, if C9 equals to apple, and we can see that the apple is in quote. It is in a quote because apple in this instance is a text. And for Excel to read a text in a formula, it needs to be in quotes. If you do not put it in quotes, you will get an error. Let's try it so that you not say, this guy is saying what he does not know. If if the C9 equals, let me even write, let me put it in open in quotes. If equals happening, this thing is going to go and do something else. The way I'm looking at it. Value if true. Value if true. True. Value if false. Value if false. Please, I want us to try this. Why I want us to try this is because Excel is showing me some things that I want us to see that is not showing in this screen that I am sharing. So please, let us try it. Value if false. False. Let me close parenthesis just to be clear. Hmm. See what Excel is telling me. Oh. It's telling me that name question mark. Like, what are you saying, Ogade? Like, what is this? Now, ah, oh, this thing is paining me, sha. It's showing me something here that the formula contains unrecognized text. It's telling me that the formula contains unrecognized text. Now, it is not recognizing the apple because we do not have it in quotes. Please, so it is important anytime you want to have a text in your formula, anytime, any day, make sure it is included in quotes. Sorry, this is we invite to continue your study. Okay. What's Firefly saying here? Please, who is the admin? What's happening? Uh, okay, let me just go on. I think we spent a lot of time actually. So let me just continue. So anytime, but you should also ask this. I'm expecting a question in this thing I just wrote now. I'm expecting a question, and if I don't get a question, I'll be so disappointed. I'm expecting a question. Anyways, I will move on. I will not touch on it. And if that question does not come, I will leave this like this. You are not going to see. True and false. Okay, what do you want to say? At Akim Matan. Yes, you raised your hand.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Can I hear you, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. The true or false, I think it should come in a formula, not just in words. The way you input it. I think that's one of the things also. You didn't
Sorry, they
input it
would
as
what?
formula. You didn't input it as formula. You input it as words. So in it's not in as formula.
Okay, I don't really get you, but I would I would explain. I would just explain it because as I was talking, I now realized that the thing I was trying to cajole people on, we already have it here. So true and false, as this thing is saying, they are like or like other words in Excel. So yes. So like if you are, I don't want to say if you are familiar, but one thing to note is that in every application or in every software, especially analysis software, SQL, Python, um, Excel also, there are some words that are reserved for the application or the software or the programming language. And in almost every programming language itself, true and false are reserved for those applications or for those software or for those programming language. They are reserved. Like you cannot do anything with them. That is why we don't have them in quotes. That's why we don't have this true and false in quotes because Excel recognizes them as one of its own. That is why. I feel like that's the best explanation I can. That's how best I can think about it now. Yes. Excel understand true and false as these are my own. So I don't need to be scratching my head. But this Apple, Excel is looking like who is this guy? Like who are you? Apple has the what? But if you put it in quotes, Exam will now say, oh, you mean apple as a fruit, which is a text. Okay, I understand now. It's now tell that, okay, true. There's truly, truly apple here. That's when we get through here. So I think we'll stop there for today because I'm already tired. I will not even lie. Ah, I don't want to talk. Anyways, we'll stop there for today. We'll continue next week. I think Mutsuraya would continue with us tomorrow. So I don't know if she would continue from here. But Deborah.